this is one of the weakest moves. This is weaker than Durant going to Golden State. This is.
Well, I made Durant going to Golden State made a lot more sense.
This is mind blowing, and it sets us back so far because it's like we can't win. You know, as soon as the white man comes with a big bag of money, whoever is in place of power at the HBCU is going to leave automatically, and I hate it, man. I hate it, and it's just there's no hope. I'm trying not to get too emotional, too involved. Try to limit my curse words here, so that I have a decent grasp on the English language. All right.
Well,
so
as long as Ben Simmons is involved,
yeah, you throw all that out the window. Yeah. So FAMU's coach, who I believe was there at FAMU for about 5 or 6 seasons, Willie, head coach Willie here, Willie Simmons, he is leaving the program to coach the running backs over at Duke. Now, if you're unfamiliar with HBCU football and FAMU, FAMU had one of the best seasons that HBCU can have coming off the season. Just to give you a better general idea, they had a better season than Jackson State ever did while Deion was there. They won the conference, and they actually won their bowl game. If you can remember, Deion lost both of his bowl games while he
had a
was
special way of choking in the big game.
Yeah. Willie did not choke. He got the job done. And also on top of that, what Willie was able to accomplish was he was generating a avenue for these transfer portals. He poached a couple of guys from Florida State and other top Division I programs, and he was getting these former 4-star guys.
Got a guy new from Ace that played here at Jones that was at FAU was transferring there.
Yep. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So he was getting some of those 3-star, 4-star guys in there in somewhat, you can say it, in abundance. All right. And he's getting into the program, and they were becoming a very, very strong team. Now, when the head coach at Duke, if I have this correct, is he a new coach?
Yeah.
So because
Mike Elko was there this year. He left to take the A&M job.
Yes.
And I can't remember the guy that they got to come in.
Right. But basically, he's building his staff.
Yeah, he's building his staff.
He's building the staff, and what better way to go and get Willie here, who has been phenomenal here for FAMU, and he's hired him as a running backs coach. All right, now FAMU. One thing I will say, I went to Bethune-Cookman. I'm a Bethune-Cookman alum. One thing I can say about FAMU is one good thing I can say, right? Not a lot. No, I'm just joking. But they are very prestigious and very they are
projecting air of superiority.
They don't show enough ill. They don't show any ill will towards Willie leaving. If you watched, and I've read tons of the boards there and things like that, FAMU boards and in these groups, HBCU groups and things like that, and they really appreciate his time here and what he's done for FAMU and things like that. And so I'm going to just totally go the other way with this here. And FAMU, if you won't say it, I'll say it for you. I just think this move is very weak. It's very, very weak. Now, let's take this thing here. Let's take this piece by piece because I have quite a few things to say about this. All right. The first thing, because when you think about the individual move for Willie, you say, okay, this is the overall sentiment is this is a great move for Willie and his personal life. People have cited, compensation and opportunity and things like that to become a part of this new coach's staff on Duke's team here. All right. Now, one thing I can say, I don't know the exact numbers. I don't know what he is making at Duke, but one thing I know for sure, and I would bet my life on, as far as being on inside of Bethune-Cookman's, sporting thing there, and also Coach Jenkins, who was the greatest coach who has ever come through Bethune, very close. I knew how much he was making at that time and things of that nature. I would bet my life that I can confirm he's not making a substantial amount more as Duke's running backs coach as he would make as with this new contract in FAMU. Matter of fact, FAMU and their staff and the AD there, they offered him more money than he would be making at Duke. They were the boosters there and the fan base, the alum. They stepped up to make a better offer than Duke was even offering. So let's throw money out of the table. You know how Deion left Jackson State, and you can say, okay, they offered him X amount of money that Jackson State just couldn't come up with. That is true. Deion left for one of the reasons, or you can say or whatever, he is making more money now than he would have made at Jackson State. That is not the case with Willie. Okay? So let's throw that out of the window. Money out of the window. Second is opportunity. Now, this is Duke University football. And let's just call it the worst fucking Power 5 conference there is. ACC is fucking awful, okay? And Duke is not one of the better teams in that awful conference. You're going to be a running backs coach at Duke University when you were a head coach at the best HBCU football team now there and growing. You're getting better players. Who knows where that could have gone? And my problem with Willie and these guys is that you leave before you know what it can become. We don't know what Jackson State could have become. You fucking got the #1 player in the nation. All right, like who knows what that could have grown to be? Willie's getting all these top players. In 1 year or two, you can beat Duke easily. Like this is like I just don't understand, because the thing is, they say that, and not only do they say it is an accurate statement now, that HBCU football is that we lack good coaching, we lack good players to be able to compete with the top level D1s, and we lack resources and facilities. Okay, but we show time after time we can acquire those things. We can acquire the good coaches, we can acquire the good players, we can acquire the facilities. The thing is, these guys, they leave and they leave before the process can be sought out or finished, you know what I mean, before we can actually see what it can become. And I don't, this one I really don't understand. I think it is a weak ass move for him to move, because I don't see the advantage. You know what I mean? It's one thing for me to say it was a weak move for Deion, because but I can't speak financially. I could say, oh, Deion had money already, so what's whatever, $1 million to him? Well, fuck it, I'm broke as shit. I'll probably leave for $1 million more too, right? So I
a lot less than that.
Yeah, a lot less than that, right? A hand job and some fucking Jolly Ranchers. But listen, I couldn't really dive.
That's the price for Bubba.
I couldn't really dive in to Deion as I wanted to, because I know that piece is there.
I can't believe you just dove into monetizing yourself. Put a price on it.
But this is one of the weakest moves. This is weaker than fucking Durant going to Golden State. This is
why Durant going to Golden State made a lot more sense.
This is fucking mind blowing, and it sets us back so far, because it's like we can't win. As soon as the fucking white man comes with a big bag of money, whoever is in place of power at the HBCU is going to leave automatically. And I fucking hate it, man. I hate it, and it's just there's no hope.
Yeah, no, I don't understand the move at all. I mean, because again, you're a head coach at an HBCU. You're running a program that's developing, emerging, and growing. And you're not going to be a head coach at Duke. You're not going to be a coordinator at Duke. You're not going to be an associate head coach at Duke. You're going to be a running backs coach. How many guys elevate from running back coach to head coach at a P5 school?
It's such a long drive.
Right.
It's a cross country drive is what it is. It happens, but it's a cross country drive.
It's just baffling. But it also is like, it does speak to a crazy element, because here's the other thing you got to look at. From his perspective, other than Deion, is there an HBCU head coach that ever went to a P5 as a head coach?
That's a good question. I would highly doubt it.
I would say no.
Yeah.
So if he's looking at this saying, my goal in my professional career is to be a Power 5 head coach. And we can't necessarily begrudge him if that's his goal. But if that's what it is, he could say, where I'm at has never gotten there.
Why I can't begrudge it? I do begrudge that.
Well, you can, but I mean,
I do begrudge that. Here's the thing, like, who's to say if he keeps dominating at FAMU that the next job that is offered to him is better than a running backs coach? Well, I would dare to say it would be.
That's my biggest
Maybe
issue
you get an offensive coordinator position at fucking whatever, UCF or something. I'm just throwing out a name.
No, because you made a great point about Duke. You're going on to a new staff at a program that has had, in its best light, sporadic success. They've had a few years here and there where they're okay. So you're not going to a program that is continuously successful.
Yeah, if you're going to Alabama as a running backs coach,
right?
What can I say?
That's my point. You're also, I don't know, I can't recall who got the head coaching job at Duke, but I don't think it's some incredibly pedigreed guy with a long coaching tree. So you're also not kind of like a partnering on with a guy that is like turning out head coaches left and right. If Georgia or Alabama or Ohio State call and want to give you a position job or coordinator's job, and your goal in life is to be a Power 5 head coach, I say you got to take that opportunity. But not Duke, not running back coach. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
And guess what? If this new coaching staff, if this new head coach crash and burns, and you know about this because you have told your story on this show, as an assistant coach, as the running backs coach, receiver coach, you burn down with him.
Yes, you do.
And guess what? The HBCUs were there to hire you when nobody else would. Same thing like I said with Dion. The same thing like I said with Ed Reed. You guys had the pedigree to be hired by a P5, but no one wanted to hire you. No one wanted to interview you. But HBCU bought you in and gave you that experience, and you bucked on them. You did what you did, and that is. Now this guy, what if Duke, which 1,000% can happen, a brand new coaching staff, who knows if this guy's going, it's a 50-50 chance and really sub 50-50 that this guy will be successful. Now, if he crash and burns as the running backs coach at Duke, now you have, you failed there, it's going to come back to fucking HBCU. And I don't like that. Don't come back. Should have stayed.
Go another level. You're going into Duke at an ACC conference that may be imploding in the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. And Duke is not one of the coveted pieces of that conference football-wise that they have much leverage to get to a better conference or a better situation. They're going to be one of those, like left holding the bag type of teams, probably playing, Group 5 football in 3 years, not Power 5 football.
Independent, whatever,
exactly.
Notre Dame route or something.
Yeah, I don't understand this move as being really in the best interest of your career. I would say, keep winning at FAMU, build something special there, and then, and then try to leap if that's what your thing is. But leap to a better spot than Duke's running back coach.
At the very least. That's what I ultimately come to. At the very least. Like leaving FAMU as the head coach with the success you've had for a running backs coaching job at Duke, that's such a fucking slap in the face. It's like we're not even better than Duke's running backs. That we're not even better than that.
When was the last Duke running back of any notoriety whatsoever?
That's like fucking. That's like I don't know. It's like me leaving my girlfriend for some fucking ran through Horn Pine Hills. I don't like it's like like that. I'm not even better than that.
I thought that's where you found your girlfriend.
It's like I'm not any better than that. That's the best you can do.
Yeah, man.
That's the best. Like
apparently,
cheat up, leave up. For the love of God.
Oh, that was tough, man. Yeah.
Now FAMU loses all of the 4-star guy. The guy was coming over from Florida State.
Both those guys decommitted already.
Decommitted already. Yeah. Those guys are gone. They're going to go back into the middle doldrums where they were before this guy got there.
Maybe they'll follow him to Duke.
But the AD there is really good. Shout out to her. I forgot her name off the top of my head. I apologize, but she's very good. So she may bounce back and find another gym and head coach there. But that's definitely a setback for FAMU, and I'm not happy for that. Even though I'm a Bethune-Cookman guy, I root for all HBCU football success. I was on the ride. I was loving the story, and it's sad to see that break down that way.
Yeah.
But that's what I have on that.